Yo, what's up, guys? So this one is called Contest and Services, in my opinion, are effing nonsense. Okay? Let's dig into this a little bit more, going into 2023. I've sent in 3 scripts, 3, to these services and these contests, and nothing has happened with any of them in the contest and service world. However, all 3 of them did fucking amazing for me in actual Hollywood. So that's my question. How do these services not match Hollywood? And Hollywood's difficult enough. I don't think Hollywood knows what the fuck it's doing, first of all. But I think these services and these contests know even less. And I'm super skeptical, man. Like based off, look at what my review was. My review was pretty fucking glowing, man. Even in my weaknesses, they're saying this is a unique character that we've never seen before. This is an anti-hero that is unique and we've never seen it done this way. How the fuck is that not an 8? So that brings up the question, is that the directive? Is that the directive from Franklin? Do not, and I've never heard someone raise their hand and say, here's a question for everybody. Anybody want to raise their hand and say, yes, I'm a Blacklist reader? Anybody? No one? Crickets? Yeah, I thought so. I've never heard anybody say yeah, I'm a reader for the Blacklist. I've not seen it. Maybe someone has said it, but I have not personally seen that. So it begs the question, is Franklin giving that directive, don't give these scripts an 8? That's my question for you. I'm not accusing you, Franklin, but it begs the question, are you telling these readers, don't give people an 8? Even if it's fucking amazing. And that's the thing with that script, is it felt to me like the reader wanted to give it an 8, but couldn't. Like as if they're like, by the way, bro, it is an 8. I recommend you fucking go send this out to the industry if you haven't, because I think it's good, dude. But I can't say that because, this guy. That's what it felt like to me, Franklin. I'm just saying, man. So no, I don't believe in any of these services, any of these fucking contests, none of them, dude. And I'm gonna keep it straight up, dude. Someone's got to say this shit. And I've had this argument with Greg. Isn't that his name, Greg at the NICHOll? When I was on Done Deal, and I'll admit I'm wide open about who the fuck I was on there. I was Dogtown. I was Dogtown, West Side, 13. I was also Gucci Ghost on there. And yeah, we went at I was one of the more vocal people on there, and there was multiple vocal people on there that went at these contests and this kind of shit. And Franklin would jump in. By the way, Franklin, we weren't even talking to Franklin. Just people would come, newer writers would come in and say, hey man, you guys have more experience than me. What do you guys think of the Blacklist? And we would say straight up, we think it's bullshit, man. We wouldn't recommend it. And we've sent our scripts in and they didn't do shit. And then Franklin would come in and be like, let me school all you guys. And we'd be like, Franklin, go sit down, dude. In my opinion, Franklin did not get any respect on Done Deal, in my opinion. But here's the thing as well. And I'm just gonna ramble on this shit because I'm trying to help writers not get fucking screwed going into 2023, man. And one of the things there is Franklin's TED Talk. He slipped up a bit, and I don't know if he doesn't realize it or just doesn't care. And this is why I say this, because he knows that writers with experience, writers who've been repped, this kind of shit, that we know that there is a directive. And he straight up said that someone came in and said, I have the next film for DiCaprio when he was at Appian Way. Why would that be? Because there's a mandate. They're looking for something. It's not just random. It's like DiCaprio's like, I'm looking for something kind of in that realm. That's how it works. Whether they're right or wrong, and this is why I say Hollywood does not know what the fuck it's looking for. So they will ask for that, but that doesn't mean that it's correct. Meaning someone could come in out of the thin air and be like, but what about this? That is not on the mandate. They'll have lists for this shit, like Netflix or whatever. They have lists like, yeah, we're looking for this, that, this, that, this, that, but they might be wrong. And then someone comes in out of the thin air and says, but what about that? And then like, yes, that's the way we want to go. What's the example there, Jason? Gone Girl, man. Okay? You always talk about Gone Girl. I know, because it was a master fucking class in this shit. And look at that. They didn't know they wanted that. I'll get off Gone Girl in 1 second, but I'm just saying, like, they didn't know they wanted that. They told her no for fucking 10 years. And it was, look at that, 37 fucking weeks in the #1 spot on New York Times. And they still, you would think that you would send that script out and it would be, you don't have to do anything. Like, there it is, like, whatever, like, go ahead, you guys go ahead and do your bidding war shit, just let us know what the number is. How many millions? It wasn't that, dude. We were like, wait, what? We gotta fucking work on this? We got no fucking bids? We got basically like $2. That's the opening bid on this? What the fuck? That's the real story with that. So yeah, so that thing taught me like fucking everything about the industry, that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. So then you go down to like the services and then it's a massive hit. How the fuck does no one bid on this? It's crazy. But then you go to the services and the I'll try to be as fast as I can, but I'm just saying, the services and the contests and so forth. At least I would say this: either Franklin knows full well that there is no directive at the Blacklist, and that's a crazy thing to me, because the Blacklist website could be a fucking dope thing and I don't know why no one's doing this. There's no contest for people who write commercial shit, for people who write what Hollywood fucking wants. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? And and that's why the NICHOLL is kind of bizarre to me, because they're looking for like very small microscopic prestige shit. When Hollywood's like, that's not really what we want to make. So good for you guys, I guess, but we don't want that. Gone Girl would have done nothing in the NICHOLL, and 2 of my scripts did absolutely nothing in the NICHOLL. I didn't even get a rejection letter. Like, what? And at the same time, and so this is a broad stroke thing on all contests, all services, okay? At the same time that my shit went into the NICHOLL, and why did I enter my shit into the NICHOLL? I was already signed at this point. I was already, my first script that I got signed with CAA at, I already had financing on it, dude. They were already trying to help me put that together to direct it. It was known that I was the director on it. They knew that. And they're like, yeah, let's try to fucking put this together. And we're already going out to try to cast it, dude. We're going out to like Anton Yelchin was the first choice, but he passed away. We're trying to make this fucking thing. But the industry is so fucking tricky. So that's the one thing that's tricky there. Yes, they were trying to help me make the fucking movie with me directing, but at the same point, that they're also telling me, why don't you go for TV, man? It's more money, okay? So, and why is that? Because packaging, okay? So, shit gets crazy. But anyway, the point is that both of my scripts that I sent into NICHOLL did nothing, dude. And I was already signed. And the other script, that went out to it didn't sell, but it did well for me. Both of those scripts did well for me. Fuck ton of generals and all this kind of shit. And that script they were trying to help me make it, for me to direct. The other script was I got offered a job off it from Erwin Stoff. I'll name names, and I mean this with the most respect. I'm just telling you actually what happened, and I have the utmost respect for Erwin. And it landed around town. Like, it landed with Jeremy Kleiner. He dug it, and I'll give you a tip right here. Don't send Jeremy. And I mean this with the most respect. Jeremy's a fucking awesome guy. But I mean this with the most respect. He does not like shit that has a desert in it. And my thing had the desert in it, and he's like, that's the main part I don't like. And I'm like, that's fascinating, okay? So very personal preference right there. But and then it went to Sam Raimi. It went to a bunch of people, dude, and it landed fucking great for me. But I got crickets on the NICHOLL. So why, if I'm already doing that shit, why the fuck would you enter it, Jason? I don't get it. It's because my friends would ask me, my writer friends would ask me, who were not signed, what do you think? They're trying to break in, man, and they're like, what do you think of the NICHOLL? And this kind of shit. And I'm like, or the BLACKLIST or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know, man. So I don't have any experience with it. So I'm like, let me enter my shit into the shit and then see what I think. And then I can give you sort of an educated opinion, because I'll see, I already know what happened with the scripts. And then I can tell you, like, what happened for me in these services. So that's why I did it. And so then I came back to my friends behind closed doors. I said, hey man, I think this shit is bullshit, dude. Okay, go. I tell my good friends of mine, like, go a different way, man. Do not try this shit. I mean, do it if you want to, but I don't think you're gonna break in that way. Straight up, friend of friend, bro. I don't think you're gonna break in that way. And so they're like, what do I do, man? I send emails, I don't get any responses. I said, call them up, dude. Just call them up. I showed you guys the other day that I did a whole call in under 2 minutes. You know what I mean? That's real, dude. And whatever, I'll risk being sued, I'll risk it to show you guys that you can get through in under 10 seconds, man. Because I gotta have my phone to film this shit right. So I'll use my lady's phone or whatever, but I'll show you. I'll show you. This is, dial it. There's the real fucking agency or whatever, and I'll ask for somebody straight the fuck up, live, dude, and just be like, so and so's. This is what the call is. WME, so and so's office. Boom, I'm through. I'll call Ari Emanuel. I know I'm not going to talk to Ari, but I'm just saying I could get through to the assistant. Which is the people who you should be talking to, in my opinion, because they're building out their client list, right? That's a way smarter way to go than these fucking services. And I'll say this as well. Quicker, it's faster is my point. And it's free, The other thing is I realize I am gonna send another script into the BLACKLIST just to test it again. All right, but this time I said I was gonna send a script that already went in. No, I'm gonna send in a different script this time. This time I'm gonna send in the script that Michael DeLuca attached to. And Michael DeLuca told me, when the first meeting, he said, and that's scary. It's scary. It is meeting someone that's fucking A-list at that level. But you gotta shake it off, dude. Shake it off. Shake it off. What's that song? Taylor Swift, I think. And then, whatever. Just go in and you're not trying to sell nothing, dude. Like at that point, for example, he already said he wants to attach, right? So it's like, I'm not selling anything. I'm just going in and proving I'm not a fucking psychopath, and that I can do this, right? He said, he gave me the compliment. I love the script. I would want to live here, man. And I'm like, that is a fucking huge compliment. Thank you so much, man. But let's see what I get on the BLACKLIST. I'm not going to tell Franklin what script that is, and I'm going to change my name on it. And by the way, on that meeting, You know, on the way back, my agent called me when I was driving back and said, DeLuca said that was one of his best meetings ever, you know? So no, do not try to sell, dude, okay? I just highly recommend don't try to sell. Just hang out. Most of the time, we didn't even talk about the script, and I didn't care, you know? He already attached, so who gives a fuck? You know, let's talk about something else. You know, world events or whatever. Here's another point. They want to, I'm just gonna ramble on this one, who gives a fuck? They wanna know, what they really wanna know after like they attach is what in your mind inspired this shit, dude? Like they want the behind the scenes story, you know? How did you think of this, man? You know? And you're like, well, you know, I was walking down the street one day and fucking, or whatever, you know? Like, and yeah, you know, they want that story. Because they already read the script and they're attached. Anyway, so I'm gonna send that script in and let's see what I get. You know, and I'll compare their notes with Michael DeLuca's notes. Let's see if they match. I bet they don't. Good luck, guys. Don't fall for this fucking bullshit, dude. Most of it's bullshit. But try whatever. Try everything. That's what I always say. Try fucking everything, dude. Later, guys.